This is the fourth and final round of the Swiss in the December monthly challenge. I have good tiebreakers, so if I win, I'm almost certainly in, but if I lose, I am absolutely not making the top four cutoff. So it's a pretty high stakes match. Looks like I'm going second, but I have a solid hand, not great, and if they mess with my survival, that could be a big problem, but all things considered, I'm not mulliganing, and they went to 6 anyway, so that should hopefully get me some more breathing room here. Yeah, this is going to depend on the matchup. Alright, Flooded Strand. That could mean multiple things. Let's open with Forest and end. Sadistic Hypnotist goes really well with these Wall of Roots because of all the land I have. Be nice to cash them in for something of greater value than just more mana. Okay, so it looks like something along the lines of Landstill. I'm gonna play... Yeah, next turn I'm absolutely playing Cabal Therapy. So I think I want the swamp. I'm gonna put this Wall of Roots in. I want to clear, check that the way is clear before I drop my survival here. Enlightened Tutor. Okay. Looks like it's probably, yeah, an enchantment-heavy version of Landstill. That's fine. If they drop Standstill right now, then they won't have a counter for Survival of the Fittest, and I should be able to outpace their card advantage here. Okay. So, first things first, I'm going to Cabal Therapy. What do I want to name? That is not an easy decision. Swords to Plowshares, okay. I'll make a mana in response. And say goodbye to Wall of Roots. So they don't have 2 blue, but it's pretty likely that they could have it. So Counterspell is on the table. Fact or Fiction is a good card, but I mean, I have to keep in mind that I can flash this back. So Fact or Fiction probably isn't a 4 of, but Counterspell is. So I'm thinking I name the reliable 4 of and always annoying Counterspell, and then I flash back with the other Wall of Roots to take out whatever the runner-up may be. That feels correct. Okay. Nice, I got a hit. And then there's a Fact or Fiction lined up for the flashback. Okay, Wall of Roots. Survival of the Fittest. And I don't want to give them the opportunity to dig their way out, so take the Fact or Fiction. Okay, this puts me in a really nice spot here. Powder Keg, that's not super useful. So now what I want is to discard this Deranged Hermit. go get Squee, discard Squee, and it would be nice to have Mesmeric Fiend, because that might prompt the mana leak, but at least I do have a black creature to spend this last mana on, so I can drop this Withered Wretch in, and if I have an opportunity to land Graveborn Muse, it can double my Muse output. Yeah, this is just having something to cast if I draw too many swamps is one of the sort of I guess tertiary, but still very nice benefits of having Withered Wretch in the main. Furnace. Ooh. That's a spicy meatball. Interesting. Yeah, what a pain that card is. Okay, so fortunately they're cashing it in now. They can't grind me out of Genesis, so I can at least have Genesis. Yeah, this is inconvenient. I'm going to... Yeah, I mean, Sadistic Hypnotist is nice, but it doesn't really work right now, and I can get it back with Nightmare later if I need to. I think I just play Birds of Paradise, and then I end the turn because of their Mishra's Factory. I don't have another black creature to play. Plus, I need to get Genesis anyway. Also, I need to make sure I play as fast as I can, because this type of matchup can go to time sometimes. Let's get rid of Sadistic Hypnotist. There's no point in exiling anything, so I'll just not use the Wretch. I do have an unknown card. I don't like that they're thinking about responding here. At least I can still get my Genesis, even if they have a disenchanted response to the activation, though it would be better to let me pick a card so that I don't know they have the destruction and then do it while they're still in their end step. Wouldn't really make sense to respond here. Okay, let's get that Genesis. Alright, that's a nice card to have. So I'm going to discard the Genesis. And I'm going to get something, I guess, to probably force out that mana leak. I don't think another card would be better. I mean, maybe I could get Yavimaya Elder. That could be handy, but I mean, Graveborn Muse just forces the mana leak and gets it out. Like, I don't want to play around. I don't want to play around mana leak for the rest of the game. So, I need to consider that maybe I want another card in my graveyard to get back with Genesis if necessary, but I don't know, it feels like I just want to keep my creatures in my deck so I can draw them and cash them in. Yeah, I'm going to get the Muse. That prompts a mana leak as expected. And I can end the turn now. We got Impulse. Are they playing something on their main? Interesting. Maybe it's a Standstill. That would be inconvenient. Yeah, it is. Alright, that's definitely inconvenient, but ultimately okay. Guess I'll target the hypnotist. I mean, I'm not going to pay it, so... Alright, let's see. So I can play Recurring Nightmare. They almost certainly won't be able to counter it. Then I could go get Sadistic. No, I would want to get Deranged Hermit. And then go for Sadistic Hypnotist. Alright, let's do it. Get rid of the Wretch. Hermit is back. Let's hope they don't have Leak. They do. That's too bad. Still got some good value out of it. And I still have Genesis to recur stuff. Alright, well, turn's over then. Gotta try and speed up my rate of play here. So, making plans, I probably want to... get back Graveborn Muse? Or just get back the Hypnotist and then cash in the Orangutan and play something for 2? That's interesting. I guess it's an alternative to that Coast card or whatever that comes in tapped. I mean, do I even want the Hypnotist? Like, if they have useful cards, they can use it to stop the Hypnotist. No, they have Wrath and stuff, but then would they have played the Wrath? I don't know. I'm gonna get the Hypnotist back. Let's not pay the Echo. Get the Hypnotist back in hand. Discard the Orangutan. What do I want to get here? Maybe just a Yavimaya Elder? It would be useful to get more lands. I have Genesis, which is very intensive. Or I could get Vigilante and have that to protect against Standstill, but they've already used 2. Let's see. I'm gonna get the Elder. It's gonna be a grindy game, I think. Got a Decree, maybe? Yeah. Right. Fairly high impact, but not a real game changer, I think. There's the Seal. Survival is dead. I'm working with Genesis now. They're going to attack. Oh, block with the Elder. And... oh no, I mean, I'm going to be getting Hermit back at some point, so these are going to be bigger. Yeah, I'll just do it this way. I've got lots of life. I think I should be all right. Let's get a couple forest. And now I can afford to use Genesis in my upkeep. Get back something high impact like Hermit here. And I mean, why even play Hypnotist at this point? I guess I'll just play the Deranged Hermit. And now they can block with a factory, but I can jam through 6 damage. I think it makes sense to get offensive here. Yeah, I feel good about my blocking decision last turn. All the way up to 5 with a keg. Kind of a niche spot to have it on. I'm going to get back the Graveworm User in my upkeep. Oh, never mind. That was really nice. I probably wasn't going to pay Echo. Yeah, I'll probably just take the damage, I guess. Better on offense than defense. Dust Bowl. I think they're going to use it. If they don't, that's a big telegraph for Decree. But if they have Decree, they should just play it on their own turn. Just make Angels. Alright, good. It looks like they're not doing that. Happy to see that. Okay, so during the upkeep, I'll hit that. Yes. Drop Hermit. Go for the attack. Okay, got him. Alright, yeah, it looks like the whole use of Powder Keg and attacking with soldiers didn't really make sense, but it was definitely in a really strong spot regardless, so it likely would not have changed the outcome. Alright, let's see. What do I not want? Got some lag. I definitely don't want that happening. So let's get rid of these. Maybe a couple Wall of Roots. I want to keep one Shredder in case they bring in some kind of surprise creature. And also, you just sort of need it. It helps combat angel tokens, which would otherwise be really problematic. Let's put in one Naturalize at least. Maybe take out another wall, put in another Naturalize. So Naturalize may look a little weird, but Humility is just a brutal, crushing card to play against. And as we saw in the last game, Mishra's Factory is actually a really annoying blocker. So having something for that is good too. They don't necessarily need to have the Humility. And also, if they try to economize a mana and play out Seal of Cleansing without me having a survival, I can try and take it out. So, with all that being said, let's look through, scan for bad cards. Yeah, one Wall of Roots feels right. Definitely want my Nightmares. I got my Shredder to keep me safe. Orangutan is good. I mean, I saw a Furnace even in the first game, so I definitely want that. Also, another point in favor of Naturalize. Muse and Vigilante I obviously want. These I definitely want. All high impact cards here, plus the Genesis, which lets me grind out games without survival in play, as we just saw. So, yeah, everything has been considered. I'm going to submit it like this. Alright, I'm not going to send it back, even though it's vulnerable to a turn 2 standstill. Alright, we got Furnace. Awesome draw. I mean, I guess I would have preferred discard, but not going to complain about it. Oh wow, they missed their land. Incredible. Yeah, I'm very lucky this game, huh? Let's play Wall of Roots into Survival. Yeah, and they can't even cycle the Furnace because there's simply nothing in the graveyard to target. Wow. Okay, so I'm going to discard, I guess, Yavimaya Elder or Wall of Blossoms. I think I'd rather have Yavimaya Elder on hand. So let's discard this. I'll always yield to that. I'm never going to respond to my own survival. So I'm going to go get Sadistic Hypnotist, I think. Or alternatively, no, I'm gonna get Octavia Orangutan. This is the time for that. I don't need Hypnotist immediately. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so I've got Orangutan, and notice that once again we have no cards in the graveyard, so they can't do anything about. They can't like cash in for a card. They have to just let it die. Okay, so now I'm going to discard the Elder and go get Genesis. And yeah, I think I want to do this on my turn. I'll discard the Genesis and go get Squee. Alright, yeah, that sounds correct. And the turn then, we'll see if my fantastic luck holds. Alright, they found their land, but we'll see how far that gets them. Tormod script, interesting. More Graveyard Hate. I'm really not happy to see that. Alright, well, I am discarding Squee. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I'm gonna go get... I mean, there's a fair chance they have Mana Leak, but if they don't, I'm gonna crush them with Hypnotist. Plus, it's going to be there to get with Recurring Nightmare. So I feel like that makes sense. Actually, let's attack with the Orangutan. And yeah, even if they have a Swords to Plowshares to respond to the first activation, it's still excellent value. Alright, so they do have the mana leak. That is too bad. I'll just sort of try and shrug it off, I guess. Really don't like that they had that second piece of hate. Okay, so once again, lead with the Orangutan. Afterward, trade in Wall of Blossoms, go get the most high impact card I can find, which is Deranged Hermit. Alternatively, I could actually just get Graveborn Muse, which would bury the opponent if they don't have basically an immediate answer. But on the other hand, if they have Swords to Plowshares, I'm going to be way happier getting Deranged Hermit. I'm going to get the Hermit. It's harder to answer, so I'm just going to hope I don't regret it. Impulse, okay. Yeah, the odds of them having a Swords after the Impulse and the next draw step, and, you know, the fact that they already have 4 cards, I think I'd stand a pretty good chance of losing my Muse. But with Hermit, I mean, they can only do much. They're going to so much they'll need Wrath of God. Even Humility wouldn't save them here. No land. That's extremely lucky. Right, I am going to pay Echo. Wow. That was spectacular. Let's try and attack. We have Swords. Yep, as predicted. There's the Swords to Plowshares. And if they had Mana Leak, they would have used it last turn, so they would have either needed to Impulse into it, which seems unlikely, given all the mana. I don't think they would have picked it. So I think they would have had to draw it naturally for their turn. Otherwise, I don't believe they would have it. I'm going to go ahead and drop this in. Nice. Let's hit Sadistic Hypnotist. I'm going to sack the bird. The mana just isn't useful. And I'll kick things off by sacrificing a squirrel. If they don't have Swords of Plowshares, they're in big trouble. Yeah, it looks like they have no answer. I'm going to wipe their whole hand. They must have just drawn into a null. That's very lucky that it didn't show up a card earlier. And yeah, Prohibit is 2 conditional. Counterspell requires 2 mana. The counters just didn't line up here. Let's take their final and best card. Wrath of God, yeah. Okay, end the turn. This puts me in a great position. I've got them at 2-turn clock, and I have an unopposed Recurring Nightmare. And actually, this can go get go get Deranged Hermit. Would I even want to do that, though? So, I mean, it's probably better than the alternatives, I would think. Let's see. So they basically need to draw Wrath of God, not a card draw into it, but actual Wrath of God. Alternatively, I do have them on an exact two-turn clock, so I need something that does at least 2 damage. So maybe discard Deranged Hermit, go get Graveborn Muse, play Graveborn Muse. That sounds correct. That way I've got a bunch of awesome cards ready to go here. Alright, so I'm going to get in there and we'll see what they draw. Just a quick pass. That's got to be game. I'm just going to attack. Trying to lead with Hypnotist would actually give them an opening to Swords away to living another turn. Alright, there we are. Nice. Well, that match went super well. Got a lot of good luck in that second game especially. And yeah, that'll get me into the top 4. Hopefully I can take down one last challenge this season.